And faraway friends, you have found yourself one more time at Darkeport, Curse of Strahd edition.
Yay!
Strahd.
Just the one.
Just the one. So, we want to give a shout out, of course, to our sister stream, Constructed Chaos. Yay!
Chaos.
Alex and Morgan and the rest of the Chaos crew, we love y'all. We have, for sponsors, an expanding cast here. We have Eldritch Foundry, kind of the OG, and they are our supplier of fine miniatures. I have given that tool quite the workout with making new characters for some of them for this campaign. So we'll be doing that. And you'll see our extremely talented Melissa painting a good chunk of them. And
Let's go.
The bad, clumsy ones are me.
They look bad. Just look
Not
so far away if they
Melissa.
look bad.
You just dip them in, right?
Just dip them in.
All black.
We also have.
Going for the monochrome look.
Actually, I'll share. I'll keep Briarwick to the end because we had kind of a situation there.
Moment.
So we have Shop of Many Things, who are also our new friends, doing their thing. They have many fine things. Some of them might even be Darkeport related. So you have some T-shirts there. You've got my personal favorite, the white and blue backpack with the Supreme Phoenix on it, which is finally a thing now because I was running around with a prototype for a while. I think Corey whipped up some hoodies, so go check that out. So our situation with Briarwick is that we have amazing candles, and we do have an amazing candle. However, Justice is going to be visiting Barovia for one session and one session only.
Just as it should be.
It was devoured by a dire wolf.
It was devoured by it was. So normally we use the seduction candle, but I think the seduction candle is off having a liaison, so we will track it.
It's scheming against
We
our
will
party.
track it. It probably actually is scheming. It's so bad. Even you can't even
It's
trust the
checked into a
freaking candle.
I can't even trust the props.
So perhaps we'll have a cheerier episode. That is not a promise
Justice for Barovia.
at all.
For Barovia.
But this cast gets to little different smell.
Smells really good.
No, it's beautiful. It's just all different.
But say, is it lit? I don't smell nothing.
You will soon.
You will see.
Can't smell it over here.
I'll waft it to you.
And we have a special note here, a special shout out to my own father, who in advance, y'all, this will be airing in March, but still, he decided that in advance of Valentine's Day, he would buy the ladies of Darkeport Barovia edition all flowers.
Yes, we feel very special. Thank
we
you,
love
Walter.
Sydney.
We love you.
Sydney also has, producer Sydney also has a batch of her own. And at Intermission, there might even be another little present.
Oh, yikes.
Dad bought Sydney her first metal dice. They're cherry blossoms.
They're so pretty.
They're really
Oh my
pretty.
god.
Maybe we can get them for the after Intermission. That'd be nice to
For
show.
her new
Yeah.
character on the main table.
Oh, for her new character on the Terra table. Yep, there you go.
yeah.
There you go. So that's us. And that brings us to the lighting of the Justice candle and a little
For
journal
justice.
entry. For Justice, yes. If you know, you know.
Is that plagiarism? Wait, hold on. No,
I can't see if I'm lighting it or not.
Justice is
I did.
Justice is a hard-fought thing in Barovia, Caitlin.
Right?
My hand is like,
It's a hard-fought thing.
Apparently it's a hard fought thing in all lands.
apparently.
And we turn to Durgan, yes?
Aye.
Okay.
As we so often.
How do we do? All right.
Story time, guys.
We met out of that damned house by Lathander's light. I still can't believe we're alive. The House of Death. Death House, they called it. It was nae just some old haunted shell. It was a nightmare made flesh. Spirits howled, shadows crept, and the foul things in the basement. It still haunts me mind. I cannot forget. The very walls whispering death and darkness, like the house itself was intent on swallowing us whole. But we're out now, breathing the heavy air of Barovia village, if you can call it a village. The streets are near empty, the houses all huddled together, windows shuttered, and there's not a soul who will look you in the eye. And I feel it. The weight of something watching from every shadow, every cracking in the stone. Aye, the folk here, they walk as if carrying a hardship they dare not speak. As everything else in this land, light and joy have been snuffed out long ago, and all that's left are the dregs of what used to be. Found ourselves held up in the blood of the vine, a mockery of a tavern equal to its name. It's tended to by a grim-faced barkeep named Arik, pouring drinks without a lucid word, staring through you as if you weren't there at all. And then there were 3 women sitting in the corner, watching the room like wolves. Alenka, who spoke to us briefly, carries herself with a kind of dangerous grace. On our entrance to the tavern, we are greeted by Ismark, a young man with a heavy burden. He's the son of the late burgomaster, though it seems that title holds little weight in a place like this. He invited us into his home, and I'll not lie, the warmth of a hearth will be a welcome after what we've been through. But now that we've arrived, there's something, unsurprisingly, off. The house itself feels like it's holding its breath, and Ismark occasionally speaks in whispers as if he fears being heard by more than just our ears. The people of this land speak Strahd's name with a terrible tremble in their voice, like it's a curse they dare not utter. The fear is thick enough you could cut it with an axe. And there's no joy, there's no laughter. Even the children walk with eyes that have seen too much in a place where dawn is more myth than truth. But I say this now, 'tis a darkness deeper than that what we might strike with a blade or incantation. 'Tis the darkness of the souls that have lost their bearing. The conflict is nay against rulers or malevolent forces, but against the dread and despair metastasizing in the heart. Looming greater than the death of our mortal form is the burial of hope, the demise of dreams. In the face of that, we cannot yield. The future is always hovering around us, waiting for those moments of change, ready to be born in flashes of insight. We do not understand the shape of the future, but we know it is always born through pain.
Snaps. Very good.
Oh my gosh. What a lovely
You were
place.
getting in it? You were getting in it? Yeah.
And he says,
Well done. Our first.
So our next vacation property.
Yes. The Kyanovich Manor. Look at the wonderful remodeling already
excellent
underway.
school district.
Yeah, right.
Looks like they're doing it with their bare claws. I can't tell.
There is an HOA fee, but it keeps the wolves out. So.
That's a lovely wood you've got over the windows.
Yeah.
A little varnish will really just brighten that right up.
So you believe we had left just as the rising tide of this group's chosen quintessence all came up together. Yeah, as you first saw this unusually lively figure in the depths of Barovia. So we will kick this off by all rolling for hit points. Yeah.
Word. Sorry.
Let's roll. So okay, we're all gonna roll together.
It's a
Yeah,
D6 for me, right?
Yeah. Let's all do it.
Yeah.
D6 for you,
All right, ready?
D8 for you, D10 for
Official
you,
roll?
D8 for you. Yeah, this is let's all
right.
let's all roll together.
Which one? I was like, so
We're
this
just
is the
rolling.
D8?
We're just rolling.
No.
We have to wait for it to take the other
pyramid.
roll.
Okay.
She's still picking a die.
That makes sense.
Wait,
Okay,
wait.
ready?
Feeling good? All right.
All right.
Sweet.
1, 2, 3, go. Oh, fuck.
That's not that bad. That was
5.
5? Oh, that's not bad. Okay.
Good.
We got a 7 plus
a 7?
my
Woohoo.
plus my, and then we add con.
And then you
right?
add your con.
Add your con.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So 5, and then what's your plus to con?
Oh, okay, cool.
To
I can live with that.
con.
Constitution? Yeah.
Oh, Constitution is
So right there.
2.
2. So you actually get 7 total.
Nice.
Yeah. So bump up your max hit points Melissa, will you show Kenzie where to change that on the sheet?
Right here.
Oh, I see.
So your 20 goes to 27.
Good.
Must be nice.
My
Good.
pitiful 19 goes to 29.
Wow. All right.
Excellent.
I got a
Text
7 on
you.
my roll.
Oh, wow.
You got a 7 on the roll. That's
Yeah.
good. You got a 3 and you got a 7. Okay, that's good.
I'm up.
Staying healthy.
Well, I got a 7 plus 3 because my con modifier is 3.
And why don't you roll for Finny, Melissa?
Die 8.
Finney's still alive?
Wait.
Finny.
Give
Well,
me.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
tricky. Tricky. I should have said anything.
She is ready today.
No.
Get you, Angel. We're gonna get
It
you.
was a 4
A
plus
4?
whatever
Okay.
his stuff is.
Okay. 4 on the die.
All right.
And of course, darlings, Morgathi must be rolled
Yes.
by
Yes.
himself.
Let's find out what Morgathi got.
Goodness.
I'm Gathi if you do.
He will be rolled by him.
Our useful complainer.
He will be rolled by himself.
He wouldn't have it any other way.
He refuses to be part of the herd.
All right. I've made it to 34.
All right.
Wow,
So
I am just.
You have more hit points than I do.
I am so squishy.
Dwarves get that extra bonus on top
Yeah.
of everything else.
I think you have,
That's
I
good.
think you have the most hit points out of the
Yeah,
group now, Justin.
Yes.
Tanky dwarf.
Stand behind you.
I am already eyeing my first feet to fix this.
What are your second feet?
I was gonna say, I
So-
can only imagine.
Where
what
are
it
your
should be.
second feet?
The other set of feet.
As you're looking through, I'm going to go ahead and describe what you're looking at, and then we'll get back to the two brothers there.
You want your clerics to be hardy.
The interior of the mansion is well furnished, yet the fixtures show signs of great wear. Noticeable oddities are boarded up windows and the presence of holy symbols in every room. This would all be the Morning Lord. Do I want to say that? Yeah, I guess as you glance to one side as you come in, you can see I'm going to change that a little bit. I'm going to change that a little bit. I don't like that. Because it wouldn't be right there. Okay. So there is a faint... Artexia, I think we determined that you have the highest passive perception. You have like a 16. Yeah. So to your sensitive nose, there's like a very faint odor of decay in the house. Mild compared to where you just came from, but distinct. And against that, you see this effervescent figure. So he doesn't look much like Ismark. The only way that you can really tell that they're related is more of an energy from the two of them. So the boy in front of you, young man, question mark, like late teens. He has fair skin. He has lush auburn hair. That's a bit muted in color, so closer to brown than red, but definitely has like a soft carmine tinge to it. His eyes, though, sparkle like his eyes would be fit for an elven prince on High Terra. Like they're a high amber with flecks of gold, in them. Wide and curious, and also warm. They're the kindest eyes that you've seen in Barovia so far. And he says, again to his brother, "Sorry, but come in. You look tired." And I'm Sasha Kyanovich. And he steps to one side. Ismark looks down at his brother. "I told you too, brother. You need to be armed. You need to. I know, but it's heavy and it's hot. These things, you have to pay attention to this. It's good that you looked out the shutters and saw who was at the door, but what good is Mother's armor if it's not on your body? Come on then." And the little one doesn't really say anything, just looks chastised for a second, and then kind of shrugs lightly and says, "You must be hungry, right?" And goes deeper into the house. So as you walk in, there's a parlor to your left, and now that you're in, you see it. I was about to say all too familiar. I don't think burial rites on High Terra are like that, though. You probably use holograms, permanized magic, and a lot of resurrection. So no, you're not used to seeing coffins. You, Gira, you know what a coffin is immediately. Farron, because of your training, you know that some cultures have that. It takes... the dwarves in High Terra have a completely different way of doing business. So it takes everyone who...
What is this ottoman?
takes the other two, yeah, a little bit longer.
Did we not see ourselves in coffins in the last place? Or we just...
No, you saw yourself in chains.
Yeah, we're
in
hanging around.
chains.
Yeah, like the
We did
skeletons.
see coffins down in the basement.
Like the
though.
skeletons.
Where we put the-
That's true.
put the
Yeah.
kids.
Sarcophagus.
But now, well, those were
different.
sarcophagi. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
That you have. Like the
That
doors might do
puts
that.
in,
This is
yeah.
actually just like a
It's just a shitty sarcophagus.
like a pine wood. Yeah.
The poor man's sarcophagus.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Its decorative feature is
but the faint scent of
Dust,
decay
little wood.
is certainly coming from there, Artexia.
I feel kind of let down because I was excited to be in a house that wasn't so fucking stuffy. I mean,
You see there,
So-
they're wilting flowers, and then there are a few candles that look like votives that are being burnt around there too. And Ismark stops, almost like he had just, not really registered that he's bringing, that you all are about to see that, and he says, "Oh, that's, I'll explain, but that's, Father, we need to bury him and soon, but anyway, my brother is correct. Come in, relax. There's a great table, second door on the left, if you want to relax on something softer, all the way back and to the right." He says, let me gather a few things. What would you like to meet? He looks, so you see like a more formal, almost like a drawing room, where in better times there would be gatherings in this house around a table, like a large table that sits like 10. And then you see way back and to the right, Ismark is true to his word, and there's like a much more cozy drawing room in there.
If it's all the same to you, anywhere we could eat and talk at the same time would be much appreciated.
All right, then, let's go to the dining room.
She follows
Okay.
immediately.
He shows, and Ismark waits at one of the chairs and looks at you expectantly, and then he pulls out the chair just a little bit.
She will do like a.
Oh, sorry. I just thought. Right. Anyway.
It's fine. I'm just.
Here.
No one's ever done that before.
Oh. Really? And
There's like an awkward moment.
no, it's horrible. And Morgathi is like, for Kishtari Lunara's sake, please, Gira, please, just sit down. And
She just kind of looks at everybody and like, oh, let's get this moment over with.
be a
quickly.
little more
So she'll-
decisive, and Morgathi grabs Ismark's hand, puts it firmly on the back of the chair, and says, "Now pull for reals. There, you can do it. I know. Look at you, big strapping lad. You have it. Yep. There.
She'll like take her battle axe off so that she can
So you can actually sit down.
Yeah, so she can actually sit down, like shield down right there next to her, and battle axe leaning against the chair.
That's good.
on
And now
each
you
side.
push in. There you go. But that's just it. That's right. And now, that's right. Go off. You just turn your fine little self around and you go off and get that food, and we'll be right here. Thank you so much.
Isn't this interesting, Artexia? How 3 men want to pull out her chair and we're just standing here and no one's bothering to pull out ours.
honestly, I'd rather not be talked to right now. Anyways. So it's funny to watch.
She pulls out her own chair.
Yeah, I go to. We sit that chair.
Finny runs over, and when Farron said that, he pops up and he smiles.
he totally
proudly and pulls out a
would.
chair.
Little pat on the head.
Okay, and unlike fumbling Ismark, he actually slides it in smoothly as you're sitting down, instead of this herky
How
jerky
graceful.
awkward thing going on over here.
Is he like as tall as the chair is probably?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, these are nice he's again kind of continuing the whole feel of this house. In better days, this actually would have been quite lovely.
An elegant table. I
Like
bet.
very elegant with the high back chairs
yeah.
and the like the velvet cushions and everything. It's just all of it looks battered now and worn and kind of tired.
For my own point of view, I was drinking and given some drugs. So what can I roll maybe to see like how much I'm awake
forgot
and
about
coherent
that,
at the moment?
yeah.
You just took whatever.
She sure did. She's had a long fucking day.
I forget about that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, give it a roll.
Just curious quite where I'm at right now. She's not doing great. Shh, roll 3.
Okay.
Are we doing con?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's +3, so.
Okay. You're hardy, but it's been a long ass day, question mark? Because you were underground and there were multiple attempts at sleeping and there was smoke or mist and it was all quite disorienting.
It's been a day. It's been a day.
And it was the middle of the night to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're kind of find yourself as you have a moment of seemingly being safe, of finding yourself your eyelids getting heavy and you just
drowsy.
You're ready for a little nap.
Got it.
And Finney says, well that was a great diversion. Now what do we do for a little fun?
No fun. Sleep.
My gosh, this baby boy can go
Hopefully
forever.
we eat.
Food and sleep.
Ooh,
What's-
eat, sleep.
I thought that's why we're sitting at this table. Are we not eating?
Food and sleep. Food and sleep.
We want food. We want food.
You don't have to be
Tables
rude
are
about
for
it.
food.
I get with him on it because I'm like, but like not as enthusiastic. I'm like,
So there's a back swinging door, and Sasha comes in and says, "Oh, I always wanted to be a barkeep. So here," and he's running around and he has like a little tray, and there's this moment. The thing that keeps coming to my brain is a Fisher Price Easy Bake Oven. Where he's running around kind of sweetly cosplaying being this barkeep. Yeah, has like a little mini tray but instead of like flagon sized things are these kind of petite well sculpted cups, but he's still running around and okay, I don't think you probably aren't going to have any local coin, right? So this is what is it on the house? Yeah.
My favorite.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know that was still in here. And whoever is deepest in the room, who wants to be like farthest into the room.
oh, sure, I'll go.
Okay,
I'll be
all
the
right.
furthest. Sure.
So Artexia, you were off in one corner. It looks like there's a stand and somebody had partially draped something. And as you kind of look over, your eyes pick out the bottom of something quite colorful and abstract looking.
Which I assume is different from everything in there. That
Yeah.
looks like okay.
Yeah.
Like, do I take a closer look or?
Yeah, so he runs over there and he's like, "Oh, I should get this out. Sorry, I didn't. I always forgot, and no one's in the dining room anymore." And so he starts to try to pick up the canvas and walk off
It's
with
a
it.
canvas? No. Well, I mean, it's already in here. Can we see what's on it? I mean, it's like probably the most colorful thing I've seen in a while. So.
You can. It's probably not going to make sense.
Well, art is subjective, so show us.
And he shows. You immediately know what it is, although it's in. There are pinks and rose and some bands of orange that are in there that are shimmering up, but instead of the beautifully formed resplendent sun of High Terra, you're looking at the impression, someone's cry from their soul of what dawn might look like, who has never actually seen one.
Holy cannoli. Wow.
And so it's like shimmering, and it's the feeling of the dawn.
Wow. It gives me tingles immediately. I'm curious because I guess it doesn't make a lot of sense immediately what it is because it's not what I recognized
Right.
it as. I'm like,
You feel it though.
yes, yeah.
And then slowly your mind catches up with your intuition and it starts to resolve. All of you can see it now.
Coming from being noble, I'm like, that is a beautiful piece. You're an artist?
Really? I ain't.
You must have a lot of time to do so because you are very good. So
Thank you. And he doesn't cover it back up. He was going to, but he doesn't because of what you said. And so he just tucks that like in between that middle joint, and then says, "I think he had it there. Let me get some other. You're from beyond the mists, yes?
That's what it sounds like.
That's
what everyone's telling us.
yeah.
Definitely not from here.
Are you part of the... He looks back almost like he's going to get in trouble. Are you part of the Mad Mages group?
We don't have any idea who that is.
He was a powerful wizard. He came here about a year ago, and there was so much violence, so much fighting, but he wasn't seen, hasn't been seen recently. So it was the last person that I know of. There was another, and now that you're like speaking to him, you're catching glimpses of these blue and dark teal butterfly-shaped earrings that he's wearing. That again, somber, like darker colors, but a little bit unusual here. And when I was much younger, there was a group of chosen who came through from the mists. But that I was still a child. I do remember them, especially their leader. But the Mad Mage was the latest. The only reason I say all this is just to see if you eat the same things, because supposedly he had very odd culinary tastes.
Whatever you can bring, I can make it taste decent enough. But we like, well, I was gonna say normal stuff. I don't know if it's normal here. Like meat, bread.
What do you eat
cheese.
here? Yeah.
He says, we do. Some vegetables don't grow so well. Yet others do, though. So let me see what I can find. I'll even bring out what I actually cooked. So
You can hear he'll be able to hear Gira's stomach grumbling.
yeah.
Not picky.
Okay. And you hear some back door opening, and then close again, and Ismark's much heavier tread coming toward the dining room. And so Sasha brings out like a waxed large wheel of cheese that you peel off, and you can start cutting the pieces up. He brings some bread, and he says, "I baked that myself." And then there's some various just like very simply prepared vegetables that are out. Some of them have been steamed, some of them have been pickled. So it's simple fare, but hearty enough, and you're pretty damn hungry at this point.
Is the bread good?
So
As soon as he says that, she would take a chunk and then immediately take a bite.
the
That's what a good
bread
guest does.
is delicious and buttery, and
With a mouthful. It's perfect.
oh, good. And then as soon as you eat, you know what? Since you, damn y'all, since this group is so intuitive, you're make a
About this bread, baby.
make,
the bread.
make a perception or arcana check.
Make a culinary taste check.
Yeah.
Yes, I was just about to
Make a bread
sniff
check.
the food. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it.
You got pretty decent perception. We'll do that.
Okay.
Yes, I do. That's going to be a 21.
She know about bread.
So the bread is like you devour that. You naturally reach for some cheese, and the cheese is as bland as can be. It's more like the idea of cheese.
That's sad.
Like it does. And then,
No, I'm sad now.
and then as soon as you get to the veggies, anything that has just been like plucked out of the ground and washed and is perfectly fine, to eat, like maybe some carrots, are again just totally devoid of taste. And then Farron, I believe it was you who ate. Did one of you eat some of the food that was in there? Did you ever taste any of the food that was in the larder and in the death house?
No.
I'm trying to remember. I
I
don't
think
think
you
so.
guys looked at it.
You looked at it, but you
looked at
didn't.
it, but I
Oh,
don't
and
think
then you saw that it was magical. One of you saw that it was magical. That's right. Okay.
Oh, what happened, huh?
I'm sorry. So you don't have it to compare, but you're pretty quickly have the same experience. So yeah, the things that are just raw, and then once you get once more to anything that's been cooked, it tastes really damn fine again. So you notice that contrast quickly.
Yeah,
Karen
and she'll compliment cooking.
Okay.
Wait, so if it was cooked, it tastes good.
If it was cooked or baked or something, the cheese presumably didn't come from the household, and the cheese is barely edible.
Okay.
You may be
It's like
eating
early vegan
perhaps
cheese from
heat.
10 years ago.
early vegan cheese. Yeah,
Before the good cheese.
So perhaps heat changes something with this magic?
could be.
I hold out my hand silently for everyone's plate one at a time and try to season up the bland food for everyone
Okay.
one at a time.
Okay.
Kira will hold out her plate while gnawing on her bread. The bread's
The bread needs none.
What are you doing? How do you want to try to spice it up?
Oh, I'm just doing like basic, salt and pepper, and then maybe a little rosemary for the vegetables, but mostly just salt for the cheese. Trying to
Give it some kind of taste. Okay. You marginally improve it then, and it's a little more interesting.
She's too tired to come up with some kind of fancy spice blend for this meal, so just trying to make
Was there any wine with this?
He started out with water, and then eventually, that's a good yes. There is, and the wine once more has some flavor to it. Gira, since you rolled so high on the perception, make a second perception roll. For me,
a
would
small yay check.
Oh, both those, right?
you? No, just her.
Oh, they said about my veggie.
15.
15. So, the wine certainly has flavor to it. As you roll it around on your tongue, though, it's a different sort. You can't put your finger on it exactly, but it tastes like wine should. Whereas the bread and the veg and the steamed, the cooked veggies they're layers to it, almost that it shouldn't have.
Okay, so with that, I'm just gonna try.
So there's like an artificialness to the wine, or
The wine is just kind of one layer of taste, whereas the others are almost
which is
suffused
not how
with
good wine should be.
suffused with love or something. Yeah.
She said some wine, I think.
Ismark
Not enough to be a connoisseur.
Ismark
Ale, however.
looks at the head of the table, kind of sadly, and then does not sit there, and winds up taking a place opposite Gira.
Missing somebody?
Sits down.
Was there someone that was supposed to be in that
His
chair?
father's chair.
Recently deceased.
That's right.
You don't sit in the chair of someone who just died.
And he says, "Friends, thank you for breaking bread with us. Literally, Sasha. Do they have enough? I don't know. Ask them, Izzy. Did you get enough? There's more. And of course, you're welcome to stay here the night. I wouldn't advise wandering around Barovia village or really anywhere in the valley. Once the light has gone, I think the phrase that outsiders have brought before is when the sun sets, but I've never seen a sun, so I don't really know what it means when it sets.
Is it always this dark all the time here?
Oh, no, actually, sometimes you can read outside.
From what light? Just the moon? Just your one
Is there a moon?
moon?
There's just enough. Are there two moon? No, yes, there's always just been one moon. And Sasha says, "No, Ismark, that probably means that where they're from, there's more than one moon. Yes."
Yeah.
And the big guy kind of, huh? All right. So you're from a different world from the Mad Mage, then? Oh, sorry. He and Sasha says, "Izzy, I told him." You did? Mm-hmm. Well, right. So, no, it gets lighter sometimes in the sky, but it's always kind of just misty.
You've never seen just the sun.
Every outsider I've met in my life, which has been quite a few now over the years, they tell me of these things, but no.
And you speak of the moon. Do you ever see the stars in the sky?
Stars?
Guess not.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
So,
Ismark,
I
we want to extend our gratitude for inviting us into your home.
would, yes.
Whatever you're comfortable talking about, I'm sure as good guests will be here to hear. I'm sure we're all anxious on ourselves to figure out where we are and get the lay of this land and figure out what it is that we need to be doing. There's something we should know. Obviously, there seems to be a looming threat. I'm assuming it gets,
Sounds like it has
Nightfalls.
been here for a long time.
it's a decent of a house, but you've got boards over the windows, and it looks like you were saying that there were certain creatures that, should we be expecting company? The wrong kind of company.
Tonight, I hope not. But sadly, he looks at Sasha. Sasha, why don't you, and Sasha shakes his head. No, Izzy, I know what's going on. Father is dead because of me. No, not you. Because he was trying to protect me. And I need to help now, I know. Please, don't send me away. Let me stay. All right. And then Sasha sits down, so closest to, at least in my head, closest to you, Farron. And both of you are correct. One is the sense of this has been this way for a very long time. And then in another sense, it all has gone bad in the last 2 days.
What? Just 2 days?
You have to understand, forgive me, can all of you, I believe I probably only remember your name.
Right, we can do it again. Durgan is my name.
And you do serve the Morning Lord.
I do. The best of my ability. Every day. And we'll make sure that your father gets his due.
I am Ismark Kyanovich, called by some the Lesser. My grandfather was Ismark the Traveler, and soon we will be relying upon his legacy, perhaps the only complete map of Barovia Valley in existence. I plan to take it with me when we leave. And
Perhaps this lad can make another. Based
Sasha?
on, if you have a map, he's always got the skill pointing over at the picture.
Sasha says, I never thought about trying to make grandfathers. I don't see why I couldn't. And, sorry, I guess I do remember 2 names. Gita.
Yeah, of course you remember that.
I'd chuckle and grab the wine, pour some more on.
You are you are from a far land, then?
Are you talking to me? Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I hiccup. Yeah. Wait for that. Yes, very far. In fact, I can't wait to get back at this point.
That would be the Lady Silverfrond. Her given name is Artexia. I, of course, am Morgathi, late of the College of Mysteries, but we don't talk about that anymore. I'm footloose and fancy-free. Oh, all right.
He's like,
Looks over.
okay.
I'm Finny.
He's
and
fancy, but he's not fancy free.
You lie, Morgie.
I'm Finny, and my job is to pester.
Is Finny woke
Hero.
up? Yes, Finny woke up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he pulled out my chair a second
Yeah.
ago, so I think he's feeling okay.
He perked up when you guys
When we leveled.
when you leveled.
He was like,
yeah. Yep.
I feel great.
Although who was carrying Finny? Were you carrying Finny?
Garrett.
A lot of it.
I think at the time, yeah, you were carrying
Oh,
You were
yeah.
carrying him. Okay. So he made you carry him a little bit extra. And then before popping up in the dining room. Yeah.
I love him.
And he says, and a nasty old blob tried to eat me, and it was real nasty. But here I am, and thanks, guys. I kind of like not being dead, so it's good. And my job is to pester Gira and keep everyone out of trouble. Okay, that's quite the job description, little one.
I take a little wing or bone of whatever I just picked off and I toss it in. Glad you're alive.
Oh, you know what? Roll. I don't know. Roll for him, and I want to see if you can do something fancy.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, sorry. No, you do it then. Sorry. I didn't know. Sorry, I forgot she was the one who's doing it.
Finny roll.
10 on the die.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough with his dex. So as you toss it to him,
Oh, no.
Like he's even got enough energy to regain after all.
Farron gives him that.
yeah, I don't know. I feel really kind of like the pep in my step is back.
Is he near enough to Gira? Or is he like on the other side of the table?
I'm picturing Gira's opposite Ismark, so you guys are like at one. And then Finny's been running around, so he's like on the other side of Farron. Yeah.
So he's still going to need tending to, is he?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
He is. You do know you've been chosen long enough though to know that if he can get a good night's rest, he will regenerate. Up to full hit points.
Okay.
Yeah, because chosen.
Gira will pipe up. You still need to rest.
I'm gonna.
I know.
I'm gonna tend to him when we rest for a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Short rest. I guess.
And you, my
Keep
lady?
waiting for him like a kid to just crash.
Yeah.
Pass out
I'm
wherever.
Farron.
Farron.
Hello.
Hello. A pleasure to make all of your acquaintances.
Yeah, thank you for the food. That is really great. That is
course.
great right now. Also,
Are you in pain, Farron?
She's
No,
tired
but,
and
like,
she
do
had
you
a
have-
little extra drink.
you have some extra beds. Just wondering about the sleeping situation here.
There used to be many more people here in this household, yes.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. Are we having a big chat now? Can we do big chat after we sleep?
It is starting to hit me a bit now that I have drinking a bit now.
What time of day is this?
It's really hard to tell, Justin.
We just know we're freaking tired.
It's dark. It's getting darker as you're
I would like to know more about this. Hopefully not attacking tonight, but good.
right.
So big chat. Got it. Okay.
I think we need to just settle whether we're actually under immediate
Not big
threat.
chat,
It's
but
okay.
small chat.
That's okay. Small chat. I can prop my head up. I'll keep my eyes open.
There've been, as you can see, there's been wolves and even dire wolves who have been roaming. They've been attacking the outskirts. They've been getting bolder and bolder. They've even run into the town now. So many people have been taken or killed over the years that this poor village it's not able to defend itself.
Have these wolves done this before?
There have been raids, attacks, yes, but this has been unprecedented. This length, this intensity.
At least in our world, that is very unusual for wild animals to venture into towns regularly.
They must not have the same protections we have set up.
Well, there are rumors that there are now werewolves among them who provide them leadership and
Werewolves?
guidance. Aye.
I mean,
A curse, a man or a woman who is cursed, and they become wild when the moon is ascendant, but some of them can also do it willingly. Transforms.
Is there any stories of that in High Terra at all? Is that something we're familiar with or have heard of, even as like a legend or something that used to happen?
So polymorphing and shapeshifting is quite common where you're from. But he's referring, you've probably heard, some sort of thing. Don't worry about rolling. You've probably heard some sort of thing, but those all would have been back in the dark, chaotic days.
Okay.
Do some still exist in like the edges of the wildlands or something that Gira might have run into?
So
a little bit more than a folktale?
You go ahead and make a history check, because for you you're out in the wilds, and some of the last remaining wilds.
She's seen a werewolf and a
7.
yeti and
Yeah.
kind of
So
monster.
tails, really the only thing that you would know kind of automatically without that they wouldn't is that where there's one werewolf, there's very likely to be more than one.
and
Okay.
me shifting into a wolf and whatnot, I could maybe use, or I have +4 animal handling or whatever.
That's good to know.
So I mean, it might be.
Handle them wolves.
You might be able to dissuade some of the wolves, although Artexia, you know that this whole land feels so out of kilter that you wouldn't trust that the animals are going to behave the same.
No, yeah, definitely not. Yeah. Okay.
He says, my plan, my hope is we put Father to his final resting place come the dawn. And then this, Sasha, I have thought long and hard about this, and don't argue. It's time for us to go. But I know we have friends. I know we have people depending on us. I know that I am supposed to be father now. I can't. How can you say that, Izzy? I can't. I've trained my whole life to protect you, to protect this village, and it's hopeless. It's never hopeless. It's hopeless. And Sasha is and you are the only family I have left. Mother is gone, father is gone, sister is gone, all gone. I have to get you to some semblance of safety. There are only 2 places that might be outside of his view. One of them is the largest settlement in the valley, called Valaki. It is more or less central. Sasha, go fetch grandfather's tapestry, his map. But we don't move it. We do it tonight. Come on now. Okay. And Sasha gets up and scampers off. It is said that the devil Strahd has not been there for many years. Perhaps even a generation.
And Valaki?
Aye. It is... I know the world that the Mad Mage came from was much larger than here, so I don't know if it would be a large city where you are from. But it is the biggest collection of people in humanity. It has the strongest walls. It actually does have a full church in it. A holy man there. The father there is supposedly deep in the grace of the Morning Lord, and is strong enough that it is said he has raised the dead. At this place I hope to hide, or at least secure my brother. And then, at the very end of the valley, we friends are at... good, Sasha. And then... So, ta-da! We officially, finally, in character, have this frickin' map.
Yay!
Finally.
And,
Ta-da!
Just been ignoring it this whole time.
he says, obviously he's not using a pointer, but...
And he brings out a claw-like pointer.
He says, we are here in the village of Barovia. The devil Strahd's his home, his stronghold, Castle Ravenloft. It sits above us, almost 1,000 feet, on a mountaintop overlooking it. Resistance here is essentially doomed. The Mad Mage was a formidable figure, powerful in the ways of will working. It did him in the end, it did him no good.
Is this Mad Mage still about?
The Vistani, the folk that can travel freely, the only folk who can travel freely in this land, they may well know more, and I have been thinking about visiting their oracle, Madame Eva.
Yeah, we want to talk to her. I want to talk to her.
However, he has not been... He looks... Many of us... and actually, Justin, go ahead and make an insight check. Because I know your character's really watching and alert.
Don't even know what that landed on.
Okay, well, roll again. If it's got, then roll again.
I believe that's a 12.
Okay. It's not too hard to read Ismark. Like, he's one of those people who's fairly, kind of has his heart on his sleeve. And there is like a strong undercurrent of guilt as he's telling you these next words. The mage put out a call to arms, and many answered. Even a few hidden chosen in the valley that no one knew about. They came and they assaulted Castle Ravenloft. They failed. And Sasha puts his head down, and you can hear, and he's not really crying exactly, but you just see his little body like shaking. Our mother, Indira, she was an excellent swordswoman. She is the person who trained me actually more than anyone else. She was not chosen, but she went with them. She said I probably should have gone too. But she told me that someone had to be here to watch over my brother, in case they did not succeed. I should have gone anyway. They didn't come back. I have to assume that my mother perished with the rest of them, and is in some grave, if she's lucky. If he didn't reshape her.
Reshape?
I think that's going to need a little bit of explanation. What do you mean?
Sometimes when people go missing, they come back, but they are not them anymore. Sometimes, depending on how entertaining Strahd has found them, they come back as zombies. They come back as specters, without bodies, but with hate, and their spirits. And sometimes, on rare occasions, they come back as lesser vampire. Creatures that have fantastic strength and resilience, but they all bend the knee to him, unquestioningly. He has, over the long years, he has made several, how do you say? I guess you would call them brides. And they have more... I thought I saw a glimpse of one, but when the brides come here, you do not go and question them. You, forgive me, I must be blunt, you came from Death House, from the Durst Manor, yes?
I believe we met one of these.
Yes.
As best we know, yes, we did come from there.
Gary, you're just rolling for all my NPCs.
Them dice.
Give a history check for Ismark and see if he can remember something.
11 on the die.
11 on the die. Okay. He falls silent for a while. He cups that granite chin of his. Lady Vilisevic. Ludmilla is her given name.
That's the one, Ludmilla.
Yes, she is Strahd's ambassador,
Hey.
spokeswoman.
She acted like it, yes.
She was kind of a bitch.
Kinda?
I
Coming
think.
from me.
Well,
Sounds like the one we, I suppose you could say, met.
Very
Yes.
tall.
yes, a striking figure. Some consider her Strahd's lieutenant, his strong right hand. She is a will worker, a mage of no small ability. But she comes to the village sometimes when the death house is active. We know outsiders are soon to come.
Is that how they bring people here? Is that like some kind of portal? Is that where people usually come from that aren't from here?
I have never been inside,
Well, I don't recommend it.
although some stupid children dare each other, you know.
So she's in cahoots with one of the reason that we're here. It's connected?
I do not know what the
It seems like it.
household structure is of the Strahd, but yes, she, over the years, I don't know, the impression that I got was, to me, wasn't so much a lieutenant, but more like a advisor. But anyway, she is the one here in Barovia that we would see the most. These brides, there are several of them, and they go as so far as any of us know. They just go as they will, but they do. Lady Vilisevic tends to be here. There are others I do not know I do not remember. I have heard them before, but I don't remember their names. In other areas that tend to be in other areas.
Are all of these brides vampire or something else?
Yes. He commands their absolute loyalty, Gira.
Do we know what vampire are?
You assume some variation of vampire.
Okay.
And there have been tales, like, one of the things, y'all, that it might, you know, the different characters are going to come to this differently. Kishtari Lunara, the demigoddess of the elven people in High Terra, transformed that world. And you have a sense that, like, wow, all these things actually were there, because they're all folk tales now. They're all legends of these hideous creatures, you know. But this is all, you know, this was all tens of thousands of years ago that these, in your world, that these
The
battles were
stories
fought.
have lived,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, but they're long gone. And now this man is telling you about a woman that you just met an hour ago, a creature that you just met an hour ago. Not
Yeah, but didn't
10,000
she
years ago.
speak to us though? That didn't she give away stuff?
she
while
definitely
was
talked
there?
like she was a representative
Yeah.
of Strahd.
Yeah,
She was saying we a lot.
but now we know that it's a bride of his.
Yeah,
Okay.
And she was wearing a wedding dress.
yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Smart. We're on this map. Can you show us what area is his dominion? Because you say over there in Valaki, he doesn't have much to do with you.
A fair question. So occasionally it's not the manor, but they come from the east. So there are great statues here, east of the village, maybe 5-6 hours walk. And again, I have never been there myself, but there is, according to our grandfather, there is a matching gate here. Anything in that area is his immediate domain. However, as they say, he is the ancient, he is the land.
Oh, I've heard that one before. Great.
Yeah, you have?
Yeah, they say that around that house.
Too much.
We heard
honestly.
it plenty of times.
The only other place that I can think of that might be safe is even farther. The farthest point west would be Gresk. There is an abbey there that is supposedly sanctified. And it's as far as you can go from Castle Ravenloft, essentially, and still have people. Perhaps you will be safe there, Sasha. Isn't travel going to be dangerous, though? Isn't it? Is there no way at all that we can stay here, Izzy? This is our home. I know that. But I have looked at this every way. This village it's doomed. Don't say that. Fine. This village is not a safe place for you. And probably not for me. But I don't care so much about that. I already know what my fate is. I've accepted it. Yours has yet to be rid. And Sasha draws in breath. Don't argue with me. With father passing, I'm the head of our family, with little remains. So, those are the broad strokes.
Hey. Well, sounds like if you're going to get some rest, perhaps all of us should.
Good idea.
That sounds nice.
I think thinking on a clear head is going to be the right thing to do. Hopefully, you say that we're not expecting company because the moon maybe is not going to be up.
No,
Why do you not expect company tonight? Sorry, werewolves, it sounds like.
Sasha, go get the rooms ready. He looks around. How many? Just make all of them that we're not using. Okay. And Sasha says, whenever you're ready to go to sleep, here, call for me. I'll show you. And he leaves. And Ismark, like, kind of obviously wakes and tracks and watches while he goes through the swing door back into the kitchen and then through the rest of the house.
While they're all doing that, as I'm getting tired, I'm like feeling a little bit wary. I want to check my space one more time, so I just do a little detect magic to see if I sense anything near me. But because I'm about to reset all my stuff anyway.
Okay. So you just kind of whisper to yourself.
So I'm like, I guess I just make it up right. I'm like, check this place. And I, like, underneath my arm, I snap, and then I feel for whatever. Okay. Boom.
Okay.
Yep.
You don't see anything immediately, like obviously magical. Make an Arcana check.
5. I don't remember where the
I'm
Arcana.
glad we're not fighting right now.
There's 2. Yeah.
Okay.
7.
Okay.
You're tired.
I'm very
tired.
That's mine.
Don't get tired.
You feel like there's something you might be missing, but you just can't put your finger on it. It's
too tired to care. It's not big enough. Yeah.
Morgathi looks over at you, kind of as he sees you casting and looking around, and then he makes a face, and underneath the table he starts tracing sigils, and
All right.
Standing in on the party.
yep.
He's beating me to it. Okay. If they're going to turn in, especially, I'm going to say, Finny, would you come with me so that we can try to tend a bit to your injury?
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for helping me not die in the blob.
Aye.
That was kind of nice. And Gary, you were so cool. You just whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
I grab my wine. I head off.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna stay for all this. I'm too tired.
It
Yeah.
was a group effort. She nods appreciatively to everybody else at the table, including Morgathi.
Including Morgathi. Okay. He just kind of
Yeah, I kind of nod at him because I think I know what he's doing.
make a Artexia. Why don't you roll for Morgathi?
Your boy.
My rolls are bad today. 4.
Okay. So he's like, as he finishes under the table.
Get them all out right now.
All right, I just have to be refreshed. And since it's not happening, the mojo just isn't. It's not coming. All right, it's not coming. Look, Ismark, I'm terribly sorry for your loss. We're going to do what we can, and thank you for your hospitality. All right, you're going off? Yes. Good night. Don't let the werewolves bite. And
That would be bad.
Ismark continues to sit there and brood, and then as you start to leave, he says, I think Father bought us some time. They're going to figure out that Sasha is in this house, but he misled them.
Kira's staying back for a
Yeah.
second because
Yeah.
she's noticed the subtle yet repetitive. Gotta protect Sasha. Gotta protect Sasha.
So, Artexia, you've gone off to bed. Morgathy's gone off to bed. You had just kind of shepherded it off.
She's a freaking
I
werewolf.
haven't left yet.
Farron, you're about to go to sleep, but you're still here.
I'm dying to sleep,
Yeah,
but she was not leaving until everyone was
She's
leaving.
transformed.
Okay. And he says, I don't know if I should say this or not, but I have to believe that the Morning Lord has sent you all. Sasha is... He doesn't know this, and please don't say anything.
Am I here to hear this, or have I already?
You decide. Because you were making your way over there. Do you think you and Finny took off fast enough to miss this, or...
How fast did Finny get up and move?
I mean, it's Finny, so instantly, but
Okay.
depends on how fast you were moving.
It shouldn't take long.
Okay.
So sounds like I might be out of the
Okay.
room at the moment.
And then I think at some point you guys will relay the information anyway, so... he's adopted. And my father was... If you go into his study now, he was drafting several letters. I probably need to burn them before we leave. Asking for help, but who would you ask help from in this wretched place? But he was desperate. And it has something to do with who Sasha's actual parents are, I'm sure. This whole thing, but he lied. He lied to the lady, and she was here. And he said that he had already sent Sasha off to Kresk. I'm certain she was not happy when she found out that she had been deceived.
The bride.
Indeed. I don't think that it was she who killed him personally, but it would not surprise me if she was part of why these attacks have intensified.
Does the kid know he's adopted?
No. It would break his heart. He's always had... He's loved by many people in this village, but also they are not blind. They know that he is different. And we Barovians have learned that different is often bad.
I'll take no offense, I guess.
So it's...
Do you know why
Mixed bag.
the brides want him?
I have no idea. I just know that Father tried to keep him out of the torchlight, so to speak. And for the most part, we amazingly succeeded, but he's getting older now, and there are fewer and fewer people here, and I don't know why, but the wheels are coming off the wagon in this moment. It's all happening at the same time, and I feel powerless.
And here we are, right on time. Interesting.
This is why I see the hand of Providence, Tverin.
Well, that's one way to look at it, I guess.
We are meant to help you, I think.
It's also another way to look at it, I guess.
You are tired, though, and I'm rambling. Here, I'll,
When do you plan on leaving?
and Dawn. I have been packed. I was agonizing over trying to take Sasha and take the trip ourselves, but to be honest, I do not know that we could make it. There are many hazards on the road here. Ismark, the traveler, was chosen. I am not. Here in Barovia, I am what they call kissed by the gods. I would say by the Morning Lord. I have some abilities that are beyond normal, but they don't grow. I have reached my potential. Enough that I can probably fight 4, 5, maybe 6 men at a time.
Is your brother chosen?
No. No, he bleeds all too easily.
No. I'm not here, sorry.
Are these roads well traveled?
Artexia is always with us, okay? As far as it goes, they are maintained somewhat. Although...
Are there people walking the roads to encounter? Or
people?
other dangers?
No. Other dangers? Yes.
So disguising your brother would not help much.
It wouldn't hurt. There are...
When you leave, you two should not look like yourselves.
You know how?
Finny does.
Finny. Oh, he has a boy?
Finny is a grown person.
He's short.
He is...
Short.
No, I know short men. Very short men. He is shorter than very short men.
He is not
Yes.
your standard man blood.
Oh. Oh,
We do come from different world.
right.
There are differences.
Yeah.
And she goes,
I know, it just...
apparently I am one of them.
No, it just... You're perfectly natural. You're perfectly natural. So...
Player me is freaking out.
Yeah, so I'm going to go to bed, and he gets up.
Aaron covers her mouth and sends a message to Gira, says, lock your door tonight.
And Sasha, oh good, Sasha, you're back. Wonderful. Okay. You can show them the rest of the rooms, and brother, shouldn't you show one of them to their room too? It would be good. And he says, Farron, come with me. Come on. And
Cheers, Gira, look. What did I say, girl?
so the house is surprisingly deep. Like as you go back into it,
Okay.
it has a a fair front, but it was built, and you can see that the house was like lovingly added to over generations, because you can see where like there was another room added, or there was a window that was cut out, but really well done, that sort of thing. And it's kind of grown over the generations, but it works. But it has a weird, kind of a funky, non-standard layout because of that. But what it does also have, and Ismark wasn't wrong, that the house is many years depleted. So you have 4 bedrooms on top of his, and on top of God, actually. So you have 7 bedrooms in this house total. One of them is like a small converted, like a pantry, like a large pantry that's been converted. So like 6.5 bedrooms. And he's not going to sleep in his father's still, but there are 4 others, so you guys can divvy up however you
I've
want
already
to.
taken whoever. I went to the closest one.
Okay.
And I just hopped in it.
Does anybody hold out for the posh one, or do you just go to what? Okay. Because there is one that...
Kira doesn't care.
There is one that...
I mean, you left first. You were probably looking for the best room. That's why she left first.
No, you
She's
just
like,
went to the
"Take
close."
me to the
Yeah, I just went to the
biggest room."
closest one, but I feel like Morgathy would have taken
Oh, he
me.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
So Morgathy's like
He's like,
craning
no,
his head,
this
looking around.
bedding is
He would've been like, I
hideous.
deserve the best.
These furnishings are disgusting.
Oh, I knew there had to be salvation here. Signs of civilization. And he runs over and he dives onto these red satin sheets and snuggles in and says, "No, none of you people get to sleep with me." And he wraps it. "I don't care if it's a queen."
I'll just have him take me to wherever Durgan is.
Okay.
I'll share it with him.
Okay. Yep. And that is that's where we'll pause our tale. And so as
Long run.
we wend our way to intermission, you rest, and all of you have funky dreams of one kind or another.
Oh, goody.
Before we go to sleep, Durgan is going to use his divine life or whatever it is to get him up, give him up to 10 hit points, up to his half.
Up to his half. Okay.
Because you never know if we're
If you
attacked
get attacked,
at night.
no, that is a fair.
Even just a handful of extra hit points can really make
That is a fair point, Justin. Absolutely.
Good idea.
Yeah, very similar mindset. Gear is like literally setting her gear, armor, weapons in very close
Proximity.
strategic
Okay.
places. So she knows exactly
an
what to
additional
reach
10
for.
or
when.
up to half to whichever's.
Up to half. Yeah. So he'll. Okay. So Farron.
No, 15. We're level 3 now.
For Farron and Durgan, yes, you are level 3.
Nice.
Farron and Durgan are in the same room. Artexia, you were in the closest room. Gira, you were in the. Were you like do you want to be like in a central room?
She doesn't. She doesn't care.
Okay.
She has no preference. They're all way fancier than she's ever
Well, I'm
experienced.
I'm gonna say, unless you want to override me as the player, that your character positions herself so that she can get to everybody quickly. Like she can get to
Yes.
any of the other rooms.
I would say even along the hallways, she's paying attention to the layout of the house, so she's less likely to get confused if she has to wake up suddenly.
That's smart.
And she probably she wouldn't care if she's sharing a room with Finny.
And then
to
Finny,
help keep an eye on him.
yeah, Finny
A little
management.
bit. Finny management. Make sure he actually rests and sleeps.
Behave, little Finnegan.
There's like an actual.
What did he do last
Yeah,
time
she
he
would
went
probably
through
do
our
stuff
shit?
like that.
Finny
He went through all the
daycare. Yeah.
chests. Yeah.
Okay. So your chosen quintessence does its magic overnight. You have all your hit
Holy
points,
shit, I can do stuff again.
all your spell slots back,
And then
and
some. And some
all
new
your
fresh
little
babies.
all your little sorcery points,
So many sorcery points.
and you have chosen your meta magic.
Yeah.
That is exciting. Okay. All right, friends. We will come back to you in just a few. Stick around, and we will continue our tale on the other side. Thank you so much.
Eldritch Foundry is evolving. Bringing you a virtual army of miniatures like never before in full tabletop-ready color. Paint your miniatures in our upgraded creation tool, then bring them to life in stunning one-to-one detail as 3D printed miniature masterpieces. With complete control over your digital color scheme, you can point and click for simple color fills or go all in on highlights, shading, brush techniques, and more. Create epic heroes and madness-touched monsters that are truly yours. Miniatures are 3D printed in perfect color detail using a new PolyJet 3D printing process, giving you unique, bespoke models ready to delve into any dungeon as part of your next campaign. Everything from one-off player characters to dungeon mobs and boss-level monsters that will make every player in your group jealous. But that's not all. You can take things fully digital and export into leading VTT platforms such as Tailspire and Roll20 to take your games and your custom miniatures wherever you want. Join the adventure of a lifetime. Back our campaign today to help us bring this stunning revolution in custom miniature design to reality. With Eldritch Foundry, full-color 3D design and printing.
Greetings, weary travelers, and welcome to Constructed Chaos, a channel dedicated to all things D&D, including live play streams and podcasts, 3D printing, painting, crafting, homebrew content, and guides for players and dungeon masters alike. Join our Discord for even more special benefits, announcements, and free downloadable content. And until next time, go out there and make some chaos.
I'm Farron Mock. I grew up in Havid, where I existed under the tutelage of my two conflicting parents. My father is an elven sorcerer who gained his power from the Black Moon of Umbra. My mother is also a sorcerer, but she's human, and her power comes from Lucida, the Bright Moon. When I turned 12, I went through the gifting ceremony where I would receive my own powers of sorcery from one of the moons, but something went wrong. Now I exist in a state of division. Half elf, half human, half Umbra, half Lucida. I've never felt like I belonged. And honestly, it's put a pretty big chip on my shoulder. The only person who's ever accepted me for who I am is my dwarven companion, Durgan. He doesn't judge. That's why he's my chosen companion for my trip to Ice's End. While I have to go for my training as a diplomat, I'm really hoping to learn more about the power of the two moons. Maybe then I can embrace one and become whole.
Faraway friends, we have returned to Barovia. Yay!
We're alive!
We're alive.
And we had sleep in a bed.
We had sleep in a bed, our first long rest in the Kyanovich Manor. We also have seduction once more.
We found it.
Sorry,
No more justice.
No more justice for us.
No.
Seduction has come back to us. So if we want to light that...
Can I do any better than lighting justice?
Oh, I have a feeling
not?
of it.
Did you lock your door, Garrett?
No, seduction is meant to be.
It's ready.
And we may have a visitor. We may have a visitor here in a second because I have one more little on-screen surprise for y'all that I've been hoarding.
Rubber.
However, we will just.
Sorry.
It's pretty good.
That we're gonna get a copyright strike.
Oh, Lord.
For real.
All right. As the party awakens, and at some point, perhaps this party will even have a name of its own.
We're called the party. Capital
Party.
T, capital
It'll just be the
T.
party. It'll just be the party.
After party.
Ooh. I do have some drugs.
No, that's if we all die and get turned into vampires.
Pretty good.
That's after.
That's the after party.
After party of the afterlife.
So yeah, Farron, you had some particularly vivid dreams.
I did.
What did you dream about?
She was seeing a lot of wolves, but they weren't attacking. They were just walking around her in a slow circle. But mostly they weren't looking inward at her, they were looking outward.
Outward. Okay. That's very specific, and I love it. In fact, I will make a note of that.
Please, write that down.
Almost protective of you, even.
One might say.
What are you not telling us?
I have no idea.
Party suspicion begins already.
Artuxia is always jumping my gun. Like, she is always suspicious of me. She's on my ass. And Morgathi.
And we're gonna know. It's just right there. In the end, the purebreds are always going to side with each other.
Wow.
So,
That's what you get for not being part of the breeding program, apparently.
as the morning arises in Barovia, you now get to see what that means,
Morning.
and that means a little more dull gray light filtering in through the mists. That's what it means.
So just for context, like how much, I mean, does this look like foggy morning or is this almost like twilight?
At this point, it's still more like twilight.
We can see, though.
You can see at high noon, it'll be foggy morning.
Good lord.
Yeah.
All right.
But we even have night vision, though, so even if, like, we couldn't...
Yeah,
except for Finny.
I think everybody but Finny in this group
We've had this conversation like 20 times.
Yeah, we have. So you're
Important point. Don't get in the
need a
comments and be
t-shirt.
like, how can they see?
I know, we need a t-shirt. Everyone but Finny.
everyone but Finny. Oh,
Yeah.
So sad.
and then a little Finny with the tear on him.
That'd be so cute.
So you smell breakfast has already been made, and that greets you.
That's nice.
It is.
More bread.
And yeah, no, the bread gets devoured, and who's up first? Like up and out of the room and active first.
Not I.
It definitely is not Morgathi either.
I definitely went to bed first, and I don't need as much sleep anyways, so
Okay.
yeah.
So you,
Not.
no, that's true. So you see Artuxia out of one of these back shutters.
Unless you spend an extra 4 hours just comfy and cozy.
Pretending to sleep.
You see the lissom form of Sasha back in a pretty well tended backyard. There's a little garden going on here. It looks like there's a chicken coop. And you can also see where his hand has clearly been, where there are rocks that he's painted and he's arranged in different patterns around, in different symbols, and all of them hearkening back to this sense of expansion, the sense of yearning, as you're for something different. And he's so you assume that's where he's collected the eggs from. But he's at the coop right now, and you don't think he knows that you've spotted him. And you see him opening the coop up and taking the chickens and setting them down. And then he takes another one. He speaks to her briefly, sets her down, and they seem quite comfortable. He turns and he wipes away a tear off of his cheek, and he leaves. So and you see the gate to the yard, left open.
I go silently, tiptoeing through the grass, making sure that he's not over there. Go and kind of take a peek at the cage and the chickens. For one, why was he speaking to him? Or crying to him?
The chickens make an animal handling roll.
Okay.
We finally have animal handling.
Finally!
She can handle
I don't want
it.
this one anymore. Hold on, we're gonna do the
That
pandas.
one's misbehaving.
Panda's got an animal in it. We're
That
gonna
one's
hope.
misbehaving.
Yes.
Gave him
Smack
4
me.
last time.
14
14.
plus 4, so 18.
Good luck, Panda.
These chickens look oddly healthy and thriving in
They're
Barovia.
well-kept chickens.
Like the feathers are clean. They almost look groomed. They look fat and happy. And Sasha's made the decision to give them their freedom if they want it. It does come with a little bit more danger, but he doesn't want them trapped because they're gone. Yeah.
In that moment, I think about it and the tear, and I'm like, I wonder if his dad, these were like his prized possessions or something. And he's thinking about that. Okay. All right. I take a look back around and I start walking around. There's a forest nearby, right?
Not yeah, because they're at the very
Right.
They're at
I'm
the
not gonna
very
get.
end. Yeah.
I'm not gonna get too far away from the house, but I just kind of like people waiting on people. I'm just gonna check like the tree line, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
You walk around. This land is full of sorrow. That's the overriding.
Yeah, but say feel for it because I know I can feel like the nature. I want to see. Okay.
And other people might see it as hostile, and sure, there's plenty of danger. But underneath the anger and all of that, you just feel this terrible weight that pervades everything here.
Oh, Gaia, you are not close to us right now, are you? And I take a little puff of air.
She stole my drugs that night.
That didn't take long.
I knew we should have taken watches. She stole my drugs.
That didn't take long.
Yeah, I take a puff of air and I turn away from the forest and start walking back towards the house. Yeah.
And in the house, you see their preparations are already well underway, and you and the others hear Sasha saying, "Oh, come on, Izzy, don't be embarrassed. You're so proud of it. Come on, come on." It just doesn't feel right. Well, grandfather would be happy that someone was finally putting it to good use. Now, come on, we have to go. The sun is up, I think. And you see clanking out is a large, powerful man, because that's what Ismark is in his fighting prime, with broad shoulders, a thickly muscled back, strong legs, and he's wearing a beautiful, pure white suit of full plate mail with gold trim. And he has a cloak behind him of similar make, looks completely out of place in Barovia. And to a keen eye, the armor looks just slightly, even though he is tall and quite well built, it looks slightly too big for him. As though a mocking metaphor about being Ismark the Lesser. And so he has the straps like cinched down, all the way to compensate for that. But he comes out, and Sasha says, "Helmet, I want to see the helmet, Izzy. It'll be just like the painting." All right, Sasha. And so he takes the helmet, he places it on him, and you can imagine Ismark the Traveler, at least when he was geared up for battle, cutting a striking figure. And if he was chosen enough to travel all through this cursed land, he must have known what he was doing.
That's true.
So, all right, I'm just going to keep the helmet close by, but it's a little hard to see. I'll have to adjust my techniques for it. Train. I should have done that already, but I'll get there. Takes it off, tucks it over. Durgan.
Aye.
Will you and I hate to ask, Kira, but maybe the three of us can be pallbearers. I think between the three of us, you, Sir Morgathi, yes, the one and only. Will you look strong? Could you help? Maybe be the fourth person? I suppose. Here I am, a professor, a third tier professor, ranked at the College of Mysteries, and I've been reduced to being a pallbearer. And Sasha says, "Oi, there's nothing being reduced about carrying the burgomaster, the wise, strong, brave burgomaster of Barovia to his final resting place."
Gira will put a hand on his shoulder. Exactly. Think of this. In all of these people in this village, you are only one of 4 worthy enough to do such a task.
It isn't hard.
I know put on when I hear it, dear.
She's grinning the whole time. Like she's, yeah.
That's fine. All right. And he says, all right, but I'm not squatting down to your level, so you're going to have to be at the back, Durgan. There's just no two ways about it. But between the 4 of you, you kind of awkwardly, you know, because you're having to do this to some extent.
Put Finny on your shoulders.
You kind of, that's a good, yeah.
Stack you guys.
The freakishly strong Finny. Yeah. Kind of get some BoJack Horseman going on.
With our strength combined.
Your strength combined. So you lift the late burgomaster Kyanovich off from the ground. You see there've been some extra flowers that were added to the top. They may or may not make the trip. And you start this kind of somber procession through what remains of the village of Barovia. Their father goes to his final resting place as you go up that long street. You pass Mad Mary's house. She's not weeping now. You pass the one merchant house, the mercantile house there. You pass Blood of the Vine, and then you cut a little bit west. Like you're still heading north, but you cut a little bit west. And before very long, I mean, we're talking like 1 block, a church comes into view. Clearly seen better days, kind of the ongoing theme of the village. Although it's still recognizable. It has a sadly oversized cemetery behind it, which is far larger than it should be for the size of the church. Probably all too well used. You're all strong adventurers.
Soil smells fresh, like they just dug it.
Probably, yeah. And there is this clammy, rain is too generous of a word, but it's like this clammy mist, not the mist, but where it's just settling on, and there are beads of moisture on your armor, on your hair, like that. And it looks like there are a handful of torches or candles or something burning inside of the church, but it's very spotty, y'all. This is not a lively place whatsoever. So you come up, and there are just a few short steps. I should go in, Izzy. I should go in and ask Father Donovich to come out and say a few words. Not without me, not without us. Hold on.
Would you like me to say anything?
Actually, yes. I know you didn't know him, but here, let's set this down. Father would understand. So, you're kind of at the gate into the graveyard, but you guys haven't gone in there. Presumably, they're going to ask permission. It's a formality, but You set the coffin down, and then a little impetuously, Sasha, just feeling safe here, kind of bounds up the steps and, hold on! And Ismark, like, not sprints, but he hurries after him so that his
Clanks.
brother doesn't get, clanks. Do you all want to stay there? Do you want to follow them in? What do you want to do?
Well, we can't just leave the body here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna
we're on
hang
the
out.
outside of it, right? On the outside of the
Kira will
church?
stay outside, but yeah, she kind of looks up at a church and she goes,
Go.
"It's not my church."
It is your church. So you see, the symbol of the Morning Lord here. Okay, so Gira's staying.
Yeah, if she sees everyone kind of looking around at each other,
I might
I'll stay.
stay, because I feel like my duty right now is to kind of watch over the body at the moment, but
Okay.
If everyone's staying, I'm going.
The default is Finny stays with you. Just
Yeah.
kind of SOP for
Okay.
this group. So Finny stays with you. Okay.
if any of you want to go in just to make sure that they're, coming back.
I'm going in.
Yeah, you're
I'm
going.
in, Yeah.
Morgathi says, well, it wouldn't do to have our hosts, I don't know, eaten or mauled in there, so I suppose I can poke my head in.
You're always wanting to be next to me, Morgathi, I
Oh,
swear.
my lady, I'm desperate for your guidance. And, he looks at you. Farron, do you go in? Or do you stay?
Not too fond of churches, and I really only mess with this stuff when he makes me, so I'm happy to stay out here.
All right. Artexa, you go in, and Sasha's already slowed down. The church, it's pretty simple. So double doors, just one main walkway, and it's got 2 rooms on each side that comprise some sort of hallway with doors there, and then you empty into, and then that opens into the main body of the church.
Pews.
And that's it. Pews,
Okay.
yeah, pews, pulpit, etc. However, it takes you about 2.5 seconds to realize that something's pretty wrong in here. And as you step out, as your keen eyes take in the sweep of the main room, it looks trashed. The pews look they're beyond disrepair. They look like they've been broken. Some of them have been shattered. Fortunately, you don't see bodies, you don't see blood. You don't hear, battle going on or anything like that. But you see the shape of a large, despondent man behind what remains of the pulpit, and he's just kind of shaking back there. I'm about to pass the map and the picture around, but for our faraway friends, this man is probably late 40s, early 50s, thinning hair that might have been dark at one point that has gone mostly gray with a little tinge of color through it. He's got a pretty broad face, but a weak chin, large nose. He looks pale, quite pale, like most Barovians do. And then he's got some sort of priestly, tattered priestly vestments on. So he has like a broad, I don't want to say collar because it's gonna think of a real life priest, but kind of a broad scarf-like thing going on here. And then there are the faded patterns of the Morning Lord that are like a mantle that he has around his shoulders. But you see the hem of his robe is filthy.
Yeah. And you said he's behind like a pile of stuff?
Yeah,
there?
so he was behind kind of like where he would normally be
he wasn't
preaching
falling
from.
over?
Yeah. He comes up and he's on his hands and knees as you guys are coming up, and then he comes up and he looks around and you hear Sasha's small voice. Father Donovich? Are you okay? Are you in trouble? Is that you, Sasha? Yes, it's me, Father, and Ismark is with me too. And Ismark says, Sasha, stop. Why? Stop. And then he clanks over to there. Traveler, you've come back. No, Father. This is Ismark the Lesser, his grandson. Oh, okay. And he stands up. He's about as tall as Ismark. Well, like when he stands up and he looks around. I just and who are you?
I am Artexia. It's not important. Are you okay? What happened here? I pull my hair.
Morgathi has kept himself way back from that, but you hear him writing some sort of incantation as he's whispering under his breath, just in case. Because this guy, the eyes are kind of bugging out.
Yeah, and as I lean back a little bit, you lean in.
Oh, a she-elf. Yes. So you bring outsiders.
She-elf?
Father, they came from the manor, from the Durst Manor, as these foreigners sometimes do, but they are friends. They have borne. This is why we are here, Father Donovich. My own father, our father, he needs to be buried in consecrated soil. Please, do we have your blessing, literally your blessing, to go out? You have the grace of the morning, Lord. I have sat there, right there, and felt his presence. You can invoke him still, no? Please? Please? So, why would I need to do that? Father, so he doesn't come back. There's something twisted.
Is there something wrong with this guy? Like, why? I like lean over to ask Sasha. I think she's next to me. I'm like, is he always like this?
No, I know it's been hard for him, but I shh. Don't you hear it? Oh. How blessed. Just quiet. Of course, my child. You have my full blessing to go into the cemetery and bother and bury the poor burgomaster. Yes, it's all coming back to me now. I will beseech the Morning Lord to give him an eternal dawn. Yes, you're right, so that he does not arise from his grave is something we'd rather not see. Thank you, Father. Since you're on guard, Artexia, make a perception check.
Artexia, you in danger.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, do I detect magic or no?
What's up with this guy?
9. I'm sorry, tripping.
9 total?
Thank
Okay.
gosh. You said what?
Perception.
I'm tripping. 6. Okay, so 15.
15 total? Mm-hmm. Okay. You kind of, as you're looking around and there's something about the way Home Dude's standing that you just don't love. And you kind of start to look around his considerable bulk.
Not the bulk.
And you see
Considerable.
and on the ground,
Just any bulk.
on the floor behind the podium, you can see some sort of hastily moved tile or something going on over there, but you can't. And as you're like looking around, he kind of leans a little bit over.
Okay.
The father's gone bye-bye.
Yeah, I'm just going to not even ask him because I feel like he's going to lie to me, and I'm just going to take a step like towards and around him and see if he's going to try and stop me.
Okay. Ismark is still between you guys, and the father starts to step, and Ismark, because you're behind him, so he hasn't clocked what you're doing yet. Mm-hmm. He's like, "Father, are you here with me?" And he just kind of naturally, not hard or anything, but he just naturally puts a mailed hand on his shoulder, and the father what are you doing? And slaps at his hand. Father Donovich, have you, why are you doing this? Why are you being like this? And now you look around.
I do detect magic right freaking now.
Okay.
We'll look around. Hold up, wait. Look around and then detect magic.
How do you ask Gaia in this place? You have to be quick.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm like, Gaia, you must be here somewhere. Help me. And I'm just...
Okay. You feel the Great Mother rising up. The only way that she has left, which is inside of you, is through your bloodline. And it takes a split second longer than it should. It's a little faded, but it's still there. And you look around. Make another perception or investigation roll. I think perception's better for you.
Yeah, 6.
Lower DC now that you're like deliberately looking.
Okay, 17 plus 6.
Oh wow, 23. Okay. So you glance back and there is a tile on the floor that looks like it broke, but before it broke, you can see and you can see kind of the scratch marks on the floor too, where someone was dragging it up and then shifting it back and then dragging it up and shifting it back. And apparently this time when it was getting dragged over, somehow when it was on that lip, balanced on the lip, it snapped. Or enough. And so with a 23, you look and you kind of like you look under his armpit, as he's trying to block, and you're like, and it looks like him or someone has cut a hole out about maybe like yay
Of the broken tile?
Beneath the tile, it looks like somebody got into the floorboards and they cut a hole like this.
There's a hole in the floor.
He's hiding. There's something in there.
And let me grab one of your dice, baby. A die 20.
Oh, the failure!
I was like, wait.
You got it.
It was bold. It was bold, though.
I know, right?
I like
was
the
like,
choice.
wait, let's go for
deception. Make a deception check for me.
deceive.
3.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
What are you looking at? You. Ismark Kyanovich, you have brought a she-elf into the church. You know what happened. And
Can we hear any commotion now that he's like yelling?
Yeah, from outside. Can we hear
when
the
he raises, I'm
yelling?
going to say when he raises his voice, yes. You can't make out the words, but you can hear a raised voice, and
Farron's gonna ask then Morgathi, is everything okay?
okay. And inside, Morgathi says, and he just relays this to you. He says, "And what am I, chopped liver? Come on now, you're looking at her. Look at me. Look at all of me." And
Wrong person to ask that to.
and
Should ask me.
and he basically bucks up. He steps up. He still lets Ismark be in front, but he blocks the priest's view of you. And he says, "Anything that's about to come out of your mouth and over her direction can just reroute to mine. Do I have your attention?" And
I kind of like it.
It's getting a little sassy in there.
What do you mean?
My hand is on my emblem. Or what? Pendant.
yeah, your pendant. And this is another elf, but and he takes a couple steps back, and he very deliberately puts his boot on top of the hole. Yeah.
Farron's heading up.
Okay, so you guys are.
I love how you're deceptive.
I am.
It's like, what are you looking at? A hole. Out of nothing.
Farron goes in. Gira, Durgan, what are you doing? Finny will go or stay with you.
I'm trying to. At the moment, I'm trying to stay at the.
Okay, so you're
body.
good.
Yeah,
Okay, you
Gira's
say.
gonna do almost like a look at you and almost like this. I mean, like out of game. It's like a rock paper scissors moment. It's like, are you going or am I going, kind of thing.
Durgan
Like-
looks set on preserving the body. So
Finny, let's go.
Can we know this place? I can't just leave it here. Can't leave him here.
Oh, did Farron go?
yeah.
I went up already.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Then Gira will ask Finny to stay there with Durgan.
Okay, but Gira,
You know how to reach me.
Watch
don't-
out for the wolves.
I know, but you don't have your backup, so be safe. You don't have your Finny.
It's true, but I have also other friends too.
I
What
know.
am I, chopped liver, little dude?
Well,
We have more friends now.
no, but okay, go.
Sasha, get your boy. That's what I'm gonna say. All right, get your boy.
Gira's gonna run.
Okay, you run in. Father Donovich, if someone is hurting you, if something is happening, you should tell us, please. You are a kind man. You were there when I was born. I don't understand. Ismark doesn't mean any disrespect, and we're all in the sight of the Morning Lord. Elves, humans, it doesn't matter. And he just, the priest just shakes his head, and he actually puts his head down, but he just keeps shaking his head frantically.
I stop Gira as she's running. I stop her like right at the entrance, so we're not barging in, and we're just listening. Unless you want to try and push past my arm.
No, she'll be like,
Okay.
okay.
And so there's like this tense as it ticks by, and Ismark says, Father Donovich, if you say, then we will go into the cemetery. Regardless of what is happening here, my father has to be laid to rest. Then we are leaving. My brother and I have to find a safe place for him. You're leaving? No, you can't. You can't. And then he looks down, and then Ismark, as he looks back up, for those of you who are like up there, just you see his eyes harden, and he says, there is no choice. We are leaving. Now, I'm taking my father into the cemetery, whether you're willing to bless him or not. There is a cleric of the Morning Lord outside. I know it. He will fulfill that function. If you cannot, I do not mean this in a disrespectful way. It is simply the truth. I can smell them! I'm so hungry!
We're going in. We go in when we hear the loud yelling and freaking
Okay.
out.
And it's all being muffled by the boot, but you can hear this horrible shrieking. Sasha starts, his eyes widen. He backs up. Ismark, as soon as that happens, he drops the center of gravity, draws his long sword and a short
Here's-
sword.
Bringing in her war axe, she's keeping it low as she walks up behind them.
Okay.
In case.
I'm gonna turn into it.
Oh my god. What are you doing? You're turning into a dire wolf?
Yeah.
Holy. Okay.
Immediately.
Okay.
This is gonna escalate things.
And as soon as you do that, Donovich, no, my boy, he's been through enough. And he's putting his hands up, and you see some faint flicker of a deranged version of the Morning Lord's light, but instead of the purity of it, it's writhing gray. A flicker around his hands. And you don't understand. It's been hell. It's just been hell. Please do what you need, but leave my boy in peace. His boy. Father, this is Sasha. That's Doru? Doru is alive? No. Yes. He went with them a year ago with the Mad Mage. He went with them. He's... And Sasha turns away and is already pale-faced, just kind of goes white. Ismark is a little slower and is not really processing this, just kind of shaking his head. If you could... You, and he points to Morgathi, me. You're big and strong, and you could feed my boy. It would be so much easier than having to it would be so much quicker.
Durgan, you need to get up here. Artexia is a wolf. Something's wrong.
They're gonna fucking eat us. I deep grumble, like growl at that, because I can hear the fact that he's about to feed our people. I'm like, this is not happening, and I like take a step in front of Sasha.
Okay.
Yeah, Gira by now is like part of the line / stepping in front.
Okay. No. I wouldn't take by force. I never take by force. And Durgan comes clanking in. I never take by force. It's of their own free will. Father, do they know what are you talking about? Feed? Do they know what they're giving? Are you talking about food? He's not. Don't you understand? He's talking about blood. And
Oh, hell no. I don't like this.
A vampire. No fucking wonder.
it's not his fault. It's not his fault.
Trying to figure out how much of this I've pieced together.
The devil Strahd
Right, yeah.
took
Like,
took
I know
my
what's
son,
going on.
took my son, and gave back something that is just trying to survive.
All right, that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay.
Please, you. Well, I always knew that I had a rare form running in my veins, but the answer, that's a hard no. I'm not going to contribute to whatever twisted little situation you have going on here. Hughes, oh, you snapped, right. Less people, less blood, harder to feed. Right, spiral, screaming, starvation, got it. How charming. And there's so many of you. You're so strong.
Gira takes one step forward. And when will it end?
I'll start moving closer to the front.
He just needs a little something. He doesn't ask for much. Father, please! He's trained himself. He can hold out until after services every week, and now every 2 weeks, and it can be longer.
Delusional.
And it's just been a little from each parishioner. They don't mind. They really don't.
I'm gonna jump in the middle of him saying this, and
Okay.
for me, like I don't care whether remember no good or bad. I'm just like this thing is going to kill us, and I can hear it. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go like towards him, and like try to hit the guy who's protecting him right now.
Okay.
What's his name?
Are you shoulder checking the father, or are you eating him or slashing him, or like you trying to knock him away?
Yeah, I'm
from the
trying.
hole?
Yeah.
Basically, like flattening him from the hole. Okay.
Bum rush him.
Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Father Donovich.
Events against Father Donovich.
Donovich.
Donovich. He's gone.
10.
He should know better.
And then plus your athletics, which would be the strength for the direwolf.
Oh.
Yeah, because you're in its body now.
Where's that? Is dexterity or no strength?
Strength.
Yeah, I was seeing if you had any proficiencies. So you don't. So it's the +3.
Okay.
Plus 3? Okay. Boof, you knock him away enough, you don't flatten him, but there's no way he's going to just, with that much bulk, even though he matched you, there's no way that he's going to...
Donovich.
bulk shaving. No, there's no way that he's gonna just resist basically like a small Volkswagen or something hitting him. So he does have to step back. And you see the hole is like it's definitely not large enough for anything to come up. But you catch a glimpse because you do have dark vision. You catch a glimpse of a sad, shriveled figure down there, just jumping up and clawing at the air. Yeah, just and as you watch, it skitters, so you lose sight of it for just a second, and then it's at the hole. And you see the eye. Yeah, there's a little yelp. And the father, he doesn't hit you. He doesn't attack. Well, actually, what is everybody doing in that moment?
I'm pulling my mage.
Okay. Okay. You feel it. You feel it ripple into place, and the air stiffens around you. Durgan, what are you doing? Because you had already positioned yourself. toward the
Yeah, I'm
front.
gonna start moving towards the front, and
You're there now. You're with Artexia.
say, Ismark, Sasha, get outside and protect your father. We'll deal with this.
Smart.
And
Move.
Sasha says, "But," and
Move!
Ismark says, "He's right. Come on." And he just snatches his brother up, and they start dashing out.
Nice.
That's good, Justin. Gira.
There's a slight hesitation just because she's like, there's not actually anybody attacking.
Right.
And whoever the worst thing is contained for the moment. But this probably isn't going to last. And so, yeah, it's the first, like, one of these that we've met. So it's kind of like, what? Is this life? Is this not life? So
No.
she
No,
has
that's fair.
that half a second. And then she lands on, this is not living. At least in this case.
Okay.
So she's gonna start looking for. It doesn't look. Does it look like that is the entry exit?
No.
Because obviously there's a way for a person to get down there.
Yeah. No. This thing. If it has been down there for anywhere near a year, it would have battered its way through this by now. So this is not like. Yeah. This just looks. It literally just looks like a little.
So it's new, but it hasn't been down there for long, probably.
Hard to say.
Okay.
So okay, with
So
the
she's gonna turn to Father Donovich, and she's going to look like she's not aggressive.
he's throwing himself over the hole and just covering with his body.
So she's going to look like she's not. She's going to take a step back and look like she's not angry about it or anything, which she isn't really totally true. It's just she's very focused on task, and she's going to say, "How do I get to him?"
Make a persuasion check.
For what? I'm just gonna talk to him.
He was asking for someone to feed him.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh,
you
shit!
serious?
That's
Consider
funny.
yourself persuaded.
This is hot today.
Will you? I mean, yeah, he's
Just, we just had to feed your character.
thrown himself. So I mean, I'm gonna roll because you're in direwolf form and you have the back of his neck and he still isn't like really defending himself. You could like if you decided to, you could just snap his neck now. I mean, you could get your jaws around it and snap his neck. But he's put his whole self over there. Are you going to help?
She kind of thinks about it for a second.
I can tell you.
Yes, I will. I will help him.
I can tell you how. I can. The first room as you come in, on the right. If you open the door, there's a trap. There's a crate I dragged over, but if in the corner, if you move the crate, there's a door there. I have it chained. So my boy, he looks up. You have to understand. I don't want my boy to hurt anyone, but I am his father, and I have to provide for him.
Yeah, there's definitely like a sadness in her face.
Do you understand? I have to.
I'm weighing the
I
options.
understand
This is life.
what you thought was the right thing,
Go in.
but this is not living. For you or for him.
Go.
How is this life?
What?
How is this life?
He breathes.
Surviving is not living.
He eats.
That is not living.
I growl and like shake his neck a little bit. Like,
Okay, you have him now, and you're like,
yeah.
There's a little bit of blood trickles. It's good that the Kyanovich brothers are not in here. A little bit of blood trickles from the back of his.
I do not know your mourning lord as well as he does. But even I do not think that this is right.
Brother, look at me. Look at my face.
His head is his.
I move forward.
Slowly turn his head.
There are worse fates than being with our Lord. Many worse. Let us bring peace to both of you.
With advantage, Justin, because Gira's already softened the ground. Make a persuasion check.
If he says no, I'm snapping his neck.
No pressure. No pressure.
This cannot keep going on. Yeah.
That is a 22.
Wow.
Help him.
I will help him.
Help.
And I'm gonna like put the warhammer down, and I mean I guess the shield's kind of still attached to his arm, but put my hands kind of just softly on his face.
I'll let go. So he gets.
The tears, his tears run over your gauntlet.
We're going to do the right thing, and I'm sorry for your pain. But let us start the healing process.
Help him.
I.
And he cannot bring himself to say it, but there is now a different undercurrent in the word help.
He will no longer suffer.
Gera. It's okay. Find the door. I'll be right behind you.
She had kind of knelt down somewhere in there, but she gets up,
He flops.
starts walking
I'm
to
a
the
stay by
front of the
him.
church.
He flops over, and he crawls, and he puts his eye to his son's eye through the hole. Oh, okay. Y'all find the door. It's not a large church. Morgathy says, just so because you're a little bit away from everybody's, to the other bitch in the group, just so we're clear, when he says
Bitch status recognized.
bitch recognizes bitch,
Finally.
when he says help, we're gonna help.
I mean, if they're on the same page as me,
Okay, all right. I just
Could you imagine?
how else do you help
Are we in
that?
like a small enough room? Gara hears that too.
because
Or
of
is she
where
already focused on?
you're probably focused on. Yeah, you know they're having a conversation, but yeah.
There's no other way to help that.
Right. Okay. All right. I just wanted to know. Well, my crap probably isn't going to work any better down there than it did in Death House, if that's what I think. That's what I'm pretty sure it is. So
So you're gonna continue to be useful.
I'm always useful.
He is
Her eyes actually widened at the sword though. She's like, damn, okay.
You open that door, which you note does have a key lock, and for whatever reason, on this day, Donovich had opened it. On this day, maybe some glimmer of the devout man he used to be. And you walk in, you see the crate. You drag the crate off. You see the trap door. You see the chains, and he had at some point he had fumblingly he couldn't pass them, but he had just kind of flopped and dropped the keychain that he has for the church.
Did he describe on the other side of the trapdoor, like, multiple rooms? Like, is there another room with another door? Or is this just an open space
You
and his son could come through this trapdoor?
you're not sure, but you're like, we have to assume.
Okay. Because we're in one of those little rooms near the front entrance of the church.
Yeah.
She's just thinking tactically
Yep.
of, like, this will not escape. What do you...
You don't want it to escape.
No. So she's going to try to get everybody to get in the room who is coming down.
Okay.
And whoever it doesn't want to needs to guard in this room with that door closed.
Okay.
If there is a door. Hopefully there's a door.
Hopefully there is the door. Okay, so one by one, Gira gathers up the party into this room. I assume this is all hands on deck.
Oh, I was going to stay by the dad to make sure he doesn't try and like stop us or something. But is the dad coming with us?
The father?
Is he coming with us? Yeah.
He looks like at this point, Artexia, he is just deliquesced into a pile of sobbing and sorrow and puddles, and he's keeping him. He might actually be doing you a favor.
Yeah.
He might actually be doing
by
you a favor.
distracting him.
And you see in a final desperate act, he takes out. He takes a knife just from one of his own robes and he starts cutting himself to feed his child.
When it gongs right on time like that.
I'm still gonna stay up there by him in the front room at least.
Okay.
I'm gonna be in the front room at least. Yeah.
Okay. I will show you. I'll show you the map soon enough, and then y'all will see what's going on. Okay.
With that.
And with that, we have the group gathered.
For our first vampire encounter.
Everyone is ready, and with a heavy heart, Gira, you unlock the trapdoor. And the last thing I'll ask is, are you going in guns blazing, or are you trying to be quiet about it?
She's trying to be quiet and perceptive, hoping that
that the sun is distracted.
the sun is so distracted by that moment or whatever that's happening over there.
Okay.
And she wants to go in very aware of her surroundings.
Okay.
So it won't be guns blazing because she doesn't know the surroundings.
That makes perfect sense for her. Artexia, I'm going to have you make the last roll of the session. I want you to make an insight check on the father and son
And the Holy Spirit.
dynamic.
Right.
Holy Spirit.
Catholic brain.
11.
She did that. She started with that with detect magic.
Insight.
4, so 15.
15. There is some part of him that has not given up being a representative of the Morning Lord. And even though this was a year ago, and you just somehow know, like, when his son Doru, he's been hiding this for almost a year, and it's been getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
But as he cuts himself more deeply so that more blood will flow, and you hear him whispering to his son, it's not that, it's the other direction. You, for a second, you're like,
He's gonna kill himself. That's what I thought.
oh, well, he's trying to, he's drawing him in and trying to keep him at that hole.
What if he
Helping
ends up? What if he ends up killing himself as almost a sacrifice?
He might. He might,
Only got so much blood.
but he's opening the tank,
He
so to
probably also has
speak,
the ability to heal himself.
to try to keep his son distracted.
Maybe.
Do you want to stay there, or do you want to bound off and get with your comrades?
Yeah, I take my moment to sigh, and I will slowly walk into them,
Okay.
giving him a last little glance and go in and shut the door.
All right.
Can I fit in there as a direwolf, or do we need to turn to...
You will have to do my favorite thing, which is what, Caitlin? Squeeze through. Although, actually, I don't. Actually, the door is too small.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the door is too. I was going to let
Okay.
you go down the trap door.
Door is probably
The trap door is big, and the trap door is actually pretty. It's a pretty chunky one, but the door, yeah, because remember the head of the direwolf. So you.
I feel like in my eyes it melts off of me kind of, and I just
Okay.
turn back into like a human. Yeah.
Okay, and you will have ample time to wild shape back again, and that, friends, is where we will pause the tale.
That's crazy.
All right, I hope far away friends. I hope you
Vampire,
have.
It's gonna suck.
I hope you have enjoyed your time in Barovia. We had justice, and
And now we have
we do not.
seduction.
Sydney, I have something for you, dear. If you can run in last minute,
Run!
run in.
Don't walk.
Run, don't walk.
That's right. We tried to get her pop in.
We tried to get you to pop in earlier.
Oh my god.
So, Dad.
Sydney!
Hi, Sydney. This is producer Sydney.
Everybody.
She's also
see you.
playing at the main
You can
table. So this, my darling, let me just make sure I have the right one. This is from me and Dad for you. This is her own copy of Procession.
Oh my god!
Do you remember when I was sneaky and I asked you if you had your own copy?
No.
That's why.
She deserves it. She worked hard for her money.
Now you two have it.
I have an extra now.
Oh.
This is so fun. I'm gonna run my own game.
Yes, do it.
Do it.
I'll have my own flair, but not quite as amazing as yours.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. No comparison.
Yep.
No
All right. So that's it. Thank you so much, and hopefully we'll see you back here next week. Mwah.
Strahd. I got Strahd. If you got him, Strahd him. That's what I always say.
There you go.
Woo!